So I've had a little bit of a weird day or whatever. I got up a little early, did dishes, did laundry, took the trash out, checked the mail. I took a long walk for my exercising today instead of, doing strength stuff. Made a protein shake, took a shower, did some chores and stuff. Started, uploading a video. Got my first transphobic comment, but it's really interesting because anyone who shares personal information on the internet can expect to be judged at some point. And nobody watches these videos. They get 5 views, 3 views. Right now, maybe someday someone will be interested. But honestly, I'm not doing it because I'm looking for a following or something. I'm doing it because it helps me. And it's so funny because you gear yourself up for, I'm putting out personal information and at some point I'm going to get judged for it or whatever, and it's going to happen, right? You expect it. And then on top of that, it's not just personal information, I'm trans, on top of other personal information. It's not just a vlog, it's a trans issues vlog, right? I have spent my entire life miserable, and here I am looking at the solution, possibly, for that entire lifetime of misery. And it's so funny because you gear yourself up for some really hateful shit. My first bigot, I couldn't help it. I laughed. It was funny. First of all, he's people shouldn't tell you that being trans is so great. I don't know who he thinks is telling me being trans is so great, but he apparently thinks someone is. Nobody is telling me being trans is so great. Everyone's telling me that being trans is what will improve my quality of life. Being trans, absolutely terrible for anyone who's not actually trans. Do not transition if you do not have crippling gender dysphoria. Don't do it. You can get gender dysphoria from doing it. I've said this before, I'm saying it again. Don't do it. It can give you a lot of issues. Also, being trans isn't great. It's one of the most discriminated against peoples on the planet. Period. They've done studies on it, even in European countries, let alone in United States. Being gay is viewed in less terrible of a light as being trans. So, don't know where he got that. Second thing, it's you're just signing yourself up for a lifetime of suffering. And I'm dude, have you watched any of these videos at all? My entire lifetime has been suffering. This is me, stepping away from the suffering for the first time in my entire freaking life. Grew up with abuse? Check. Went nuts when I was a teenager and attempted to kill myself way too many times? Check. Starved before? Check. Absolute poverty? Check. Freaking... If there's a term for suffering, I've probably experienced in some degree. I don't like the Whose Life is Worse game. I hate that game. But I'm just saying, me becoming, physically matching what's already mentally going on inside of me is not going to give me a lifetime of suffering. I already have had a lifetime of suffering. That's already a thing. I'm hoping the future doesn't have to continue that. It was the stupidest bigot comment ever. I don't know why people are telling you being trans is so great. You're signing yourself up for a lifetime of suffering. It's or a lifetime of pain or whatever. I'm not saying it exactly word for word, but am I taking the comment down? No. He can just leave his stupid little bigoted joke there. When someone tries to make fun of you, but really it's such a stupidly desperate looking attempt that all you can do is laugh. That's what this feels like. Like, it feels like you almost want to be like, "Aw, buddy, is this your first attempt at bullying?" Except that would be bullying, so I don't want to do that, but at the same time, it's really hard not to laugh. Like, really hard. Like, it shows how very extremely little he knows, not just about trans issues, but about me personally. And that's very strange if he's been watching this vlog, because at this point, there's like 3 to 5 people who know way too much about me in the world. But I don't know who they are, so I don't care. Because, I don't know, it feels kind of like some random ghost somewhere in the world knows a little bit about you. Like, it's not, it doesn't feel threatening or whatever, because there's just a couple of people out there who exist. Whatever. I exist too. Existing shouldn't be a crime. It's just so funny. I'm dealing with a lifetime of pain. I'm dealing with that now. His comment is just so silly. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm so, like, on the one hand, a little bit disappointed that it wasn't something, I don't know, more of meaty of a statement than this flimsy little spaghetti noodle of a statement. And at the same time, I'm just like, people are dumb sometimes. I mean, get some education. Or at least get educated about the person that you're talking to. Dang. Signing up for a lifetime of pain. I don't know who's telling you it's great. That made my day. That was funny. That was real funny. Anywho, I've been having a lot of fun doing some really late at night World versus World on Guild Wars 2 with you know, a Zerg group who's like not a massive Zerg, but you know, 15-ish, 18-ish people. And that's fun. That's been entertaining and everything. And it starts late enough that it doesn't get in the way of guild events from World of Warcraft. And then I tend to play ESO more like in the morning or something. After I've done chores immediately, I go play that for a little bit. But oh my gosh, I realized I used to be such a completionist. And I could not play a game without getting like every achievement, every mount, every pet, every whatever. I was such a completionist, and I'm not like that anymore at all. And I have less time for that. There's other people in my life. I'm not single anymore, you know that. But also, I would spend hours and hours and hours just dissociating, doing the same thing, and it would get me an achievement. And I don't do that as much anymore. I'm like, wow, this is getting tedious because I'm aware of what I'm doing. And it's very interesting to me to see the way that I game has shifted. I used to do PvP content only once in a while, and I wouldn't do PvP content like hardcore, or I would do it every day on some games, but I would do it for like an hour, and then I couldn't anymore because I couldn't pay attention that long, because being aware of my surroundings and being aware of what other movements of other players were doing and things like that, it was too difficult for me. Not because it's difficult for me to play like and cast skills, but because it's difficult for me to go that long without dissociating or having some sort of PTSD flashbacks or something. And sometimes I would make really dumb mistakes. I think back to League of Legends, or like when I would PvP in, again, WoW or Guild Wars 2 and stuff. And I think about that, and I think about some of the times I can remember just making like really dumb mistakes. And I know for a fact It was because I could not pay attention to what was happening because my brain was half somewhere else. And I look at that now and I'm kind of, see growth, I guess. And I don't know. It's not that I never dissociate or I never have anxiety attacks or PTSD or anything. It's that I am maybe doing it less. I don't know. I've been, a little bit afraid about the doctors and, the physical pain that comes with transitioning, but I'm so excited to actually be male, and every night, it's every single night, I'm dreaming of being a guy in this world, which is just mind-blowing to me because never did that in my whole life. Always had to go to some fantasy world or be reincarnated or some whatnot. Something magical had to happen. And that's not a thing anymore. I'm still mind boggled about that. I keep bringing it up because it's so surprising to me because my entire life has been me trying to escape my life. Like, I've never been the most important person in my life, so why would I want to be part of it? That's why that statement that transphobe made is so funny to me. Because my whole life has been non-stop pain that I was trying to get away from so hard. Delving into books, dissociating into games and books constantly, stories, constantly pretending I was in other worlds, suicide attempts, just sometimes I would just go put myself somewhere alone out in the woods, or even when I got out on my own, I lived almost a decade just alone for a while, and I had girlfriends and stuff, but they didn't live with me, and we talked about moving in together and stuff, and it just didn't work out, and I just wanted to get away from the rest of everything. I just wanted time to pass. I was just waiting to die. Because once you die, maybe, just maybe, it'll be over. And I don't feel that way anymore. And that's just so stunning to me. And, like, right now, I've been counting down the days to my consultation appointment. Not dreading it, but looking forward to it. And it's strange because I'm decently confident about it. Like, I realize there's all this pressure of, oh god, what's gonna happen if I don't get in? But at the same time, I don't know, I have this sense of being on the right path. And I've never felt that way about most of the things that I've ever done in my life. I have felt like that about situations, like, say I apologized to my brothers for how I treated them when we were little. That felt like a right thing, but like a right path for my life. I've gone from one job to the next kind of a thing. I have a very large repertoire of learned skills from different types of jobs and things that I did. Most of them very hands-on jobs. And I have, like, never been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to college and be this when I, never. Because I didn't ever feel right about myself, so how could I feel right about my life? How can I make plans for my life when I don't even know who I am? I have so many journals and so much freaking poetry and so much freaking writing. Just me trying to figure out what is going on with me. And just lamenting that no one knows me and I don't know me, and no one cares to know me and I don't care, so why does it matter so much? Like, just so many laments about I'm obviously just terrible for no reason. Just having an answer for what was my struggle the entire time has been such a relief. Having a beard and boxer briefs has been such a relief. Growing out body hair, facing why I need my hair short, and I've needed that my entire life, facing why I have phantom limb syndrome for certain parts, and why I have never been able to connect with myself, and thus it's been hard for me to connect with people. It's been very hard for me. I look forward to it so much. Even besides the medical aspects, apparently I've lived my entire life with hormonal imbalances or whatever. Because my internal hormones produce not necessarily fully female. And they produce a little female leaning, but not really. They also, in other ways, lean very male. So I've dealt with a hormone imbalance my whole life. That's probably why I still get zits everywhere. Apparently zits is usually a reflection of hormone imbalance, which I didn't know until like literally a week ago. So, but like, I'll have a hormone balance, and that all by itself could help me tremendously with a lot of like little minor quality of life health issues. And so it's medically recommended anyway. But even besides that, it's been such a relief for so much else even besides that. I always used to wish I was intersex. And I never put two and two together. I never asked myself, well, what if I don't have to be intersex to still be allowed to transition? I never got that far. I was too much in pain. Too much dealing with a lifetime of pain. That I wished it so bad. As soon as I found out what an intersex was, it wasn't actually called intersex when I was younger. It was called hermaphrodite, but I wished I was one, because then I could pick. Because then it would be okay for me to pick. Because then it would validate some of me is a guy. And that validation would have been like all I needed. But I've never been tested about whether or not I'm intersex because I didn't want to find out I wasn't. And I'm probably not. But it was like this dream that I could hold on to at some far distant, fantasy. That I could pretend I could go to a fantasy world and, oh, look, the components are already there. Let's use magic to turn you into a man, and you can be a warder, or you can be a knight, or you can be a, whatever. And you don't have to be intersex to be in the wrong body. My body feels like the wrong body in the current condition that it is, but I am trying to shape it more into the right one. And honestly, I'm so relieved it's added to my quality of life so much just to do the tiny smidge that I'm doing. The exercising and the slowly changing out the wardrobe. I had to throw away a shirt today because it was too holey. And it's like, bye, shirt. It unfortunately wasn't a super feminine one. It was more androgynous or whatever, but still. I intend to fully change my wardrobe for the most part. I mean, I might keep a couple of shirts. Like this one, you know, this shirt I got from PAX. I got it from PAX, you know, way back when. This shirt I'll probably wear till it's holy. You know, but I don't view this shirt as feminine either, you know, so. I mean, my brother wears a shirt almost exactly like it, except it's green, so. I'm just having a weird day. I don't feel terrible. I mean, that's not normal for me. I thought that would be more part of my future, not more part of my present. But for some reason, having a hope for the future is improving my present. But yeah, 10 days till my consultation appointment. 10 days. Anywho. I'm gonna go get her done.